welcome back, you degenerates, to the number one gambling podcast show in the world. This is Betting the Diagonal. I am Billy FFD, and I'm here with my great friend, my beautiful friend, Mr. Morgan Watkins, Mr. Mo Watts himself. How you
Back
doing
again.
tonight?
He's back. The king is back. I'm doing great. My boy, I've missed you so much. I feel like it's been forever since I've seen your beautiful blue eyes and beautiful reddish looking beard on my screen.
I freshly trimmed this for you.
I actually just freshly trimmed the goat a little bit.
Oh, nice. Like if you watched FFD yesterday, I have a big mangly beard today. Nice and fresh for you, baby.
Look at you. Oh, smooth as a baby's bottom.
Excited to see my boy.
Oh, man.
How
I'm
was
getting
Thanksgiving,
excited
buddy?
thinking about it. My Thanksgiving consisted of 11 hours of football and a one bite, everyone knows the rules pizza. No free ads. But it was actually very good.
I've tried it. It looks pretty good.
It's quite good. I was quite pleased. And an entire case of 36 Miller Lights.
Love that.
A hell of a day.
Yeah, we stayed at my home for Thanksgiving, watched an ungodly amount of bad football. Then finally watched a good game. But what was I going to say? It was uneventful. Uneventful to say the least.
I'm not a Thanksgiving guy. I'm not a winter fall holiday kind of guy. I'm a summer.
This guy's a 4th of July kind of guy.
I gotta take the top off, throw the pants off, and just run around butt ass naked with a beer in my hand.
That's a lot.
That's all I want right there.
That's a lot for December 1st, my friend.
Nice little koozie and a beer, pie in one hand and a cigar in the other.
I don't hate it.
Give me a sports bar on the beach with 15 TVs of every game playing that I can gamble on.
Listen, Watts, I will extend the invitation out to you for this weekend. If you're not doing anything Sunday, come drive down to New York. We're doing a big get-together for football. Come on down. We're going to Sean's house.
I might be able to. You got to text me to remind me.
Yeah, that would be an epic move, bro.
It's gone.
I know. Shout out to you not buying a ring light on Black Friday. Love to see it.
Forgot that Black Friday even happened.
It's the second person today who told me I didn't even know Black Friday was a thing anymore. I'm sorry, what?
I did just learn earlier, not even earlier, just a couple hours ago that today is December 1st. Didn't know that. Definitely thought there was 31 days in November. So
that always messes you up.
What are you gonna do?
They just do it so it's one day closer to Christmas, That's why people start putting the decorations up. No more of this holiday talk, seasonal talk.
We don't talk about this nonsense.
We're talking sports. We're talking football.
We're talking sports here.
Quick update on the records. Both not great. Not terrible, but not great.
We've been sailing into rough waters the past few weeks.
Dude, I feel like I've gone 50% in the NFL for 5 weeks. But overall, say I just put up another play for college basketball. If I lose that, I would have gone even 9 straight days.
You are the model of consistency.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing I can do, but I am 32, 33 and 1 in the NFL. You were 53 and 56 and 1 in the NFL.
Basically 500.
Consistent. Yeah, no, it's basically 500. Thank God you didn't post that other pick that you were going to post that you thought you posted.
I honestly think the Ravens won that game, too.
I have no idea what happened. I don't remember. I was on a little...
I could have sworn. I wonder if it's sitting in a draft somewhere. I could have sworn I posted that.
Is honestly.
I don't know. I'm just stupid, so it is what it is. What are you going to do?
They did cover. Yeah, they did cover.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, he just like it.
Son of a bitch.
Without further ado, let's get into some picks. I will say, little prerequisite, little warning for the boys and girls listening at home. My picks this week, ugly. Not got a good personality, ugly. But I love them. I love them.
Not like we bring a third chair onto the podcast to make us look better because that person is ugly. Yeah. Just ugly.
Yeah, it's just straight up Jay Philly the Kid, ugly.
Yikes.
I hate to see it. I can say it because he didn't listen to the show.
As soon as he turned on the camera on his Twitch tonight, you see his followers cut in half because nobody wanted to see his face.
Oof. I was like, yo, your head looks extra shiny today. Anyway, let's get to some picks. We're going off the rails already because we haven't seen each other in so long. Give me your first pick.
This is going
Give
to
me a
be a
favorite pick.
4-hour
Give me whatever
episode. I'm
you want.
calling it right now.
I don't have time for that.
All right. Well, let's start off with a little bit of controversy then. Let's start where we're on the opposite ends. All right. We're both on opposite ends of this games. We're playing the Los Angeles Rams versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. I am going to be on minus 12.5 with the Rams. Billy, I think, is on what, plus 13 or 13.5 Jaguars? I don't know.
I have one book that went to 13.5, and I took it. But on the book that I normally use, it's 13.
Okay.
So
I've been
whichever one you want.
12.5. I got the Rams at 12.5. My main reasoning behind this game here is it's a get right game for the Rams. They played like shit the past 3 weeks. They've been down by over 10 at varying points in the games, where it's really had to not play to what Stafford is capable of doing right now because he's injured. They've had to abandon any running game. They've got to chuck the ball around. They haven't been able to get into any kind of rhythm. I think they're going to be able to get into a rhythm against the Jaguars. There's no reason they shouldn't be able to get into a rhythm against Jaguars. Get up by a solid lead at the half, get up by maybe 10 at the half. Then they can put in the cruise control, take over the game, slow the pace down of the game and everything. Smart, short, intermediate passes for Stafford. Darrell Henderson, if he's playing, can just run the ball and just pound it down the rock in the middle. I don't trust Trevor Lawrence at all. I said at draft night when we did the draft stream that I thought he was a bust. I still, to this moment, think he is a bust. He is a lock for an interception against the Rams defense, at least one.
Before we go any further on FFD, I wish there was a prop for Jalen Ramsey pick 6, because I would slam the balls out.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate that at all.
That'd be one of the very few irresponsible bets I make in my life. I'm nothing more sure of my life.
Yeah, I love that pick, and that's one of the reasons I really like the Rams in this spot is the Rams defense hasn't been as good, I think, as everybody expected them to be. It has still been very good. It has still been a top 10 defense. It's got 2 possible defensive player of the year candidates in Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey, the 2 very best at their positions. You add in Von Miller, who's learning that defensive scheme more and more every single week. You're getting healthier on the back end. It bodes well for the Rams to gear up. They need to win. They have to win because they're in a point where with them struggling of late, they're going to start to fall out of that playoff picture. They're on the bubble right now. They are not by any means a lock. And many people were anointing them a Super Bowl champion a couple of weeks ago. This team has got a lot to prove in itself. I do believe in Matt Stafford. I believe in McVay. I also think even though the Notre Dame job didn't come to fruition, the LSU job didn't come out or anything, the USC job didn't come out, there's a lot of distractions around Urban Meyer this entire season. Go back to the bar incident and everything with the girl dancing on him and everything. Like, there's just so many distractions in this Jacksonville locker room. You're not going to be able to get the best out of this team right now, which is going to lead to a less prepared team, more penalties. I love the Rams minus 12.5. Just a trend to back it up right now. Rams are 10-4-1 against the spread in their last 15 following a straight-up loss. I'm going to take Rams 12.5.
Okay. Before we go any further, Rams and the Jaguars have covered the same amount of games this year. Just saying. Not going to go any farther. Now, if this is a 14-point spread, I would fuck it like it's my girlfriend. I'll tell you that right now. I think this game is going to be a 10-point game because it can garbage time touchdown. And listen, the Rams in a beautiful look-ahead spot to the Cardinals Week 14. This game reminds me so much of the same game last year with the Rams. Rams versus Jets. It's almost the same week. Almost down to the same week. They had a division rival the week after. They were on a little bit of a slide. Look, it's the same game. It's the same game. Spread is actually the same. Matthew Stafford, 3 straight games with a pick 6. That's neither here nor there. Just a little tidbit. I just think it's a look-ahead spot. It's too many points in the NFL. Jaguars, 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 road games versus a team with a winning record. Jaguars also 5-2 in the last 7 as a road dog. Rams, fun fact, 0-5 against the spread in the last 5 games. 1-7 against the spread versus a team with a losing record. They don't close out against bad teams. They just put it in neutral, let the game get somewhat close. This game kind of reminds me of a game we'll talk about later. But a game that happened earlier in the season, it was the Colts Jags, the same situation. They're just gonna take the foot off the gas and they're just gonna let them hang. They're gonna let them hang. The Rams will win with ease. I have no doubt about that. They'll win by 10 points. They're not gonna win by two touchdowns. I'll tell you that. And excuse me, before we go any farther, I am, correct me if I'm wrong, 4-0 when we go head to head.
I think it's 3-0 against me. I think there's somebody else you're 1-0 against.
3-0 against you. I'm 1-0 against Hutch and 2-0 against Greg. I'm undefeated on my show.
It just sounds like I'm ready for a win. That's all it means. That's all it tells me right
you
there.
You think, right? You know, just like the Rams are 0-5 against the spread, you think it's time for them to get a cover. I don't think it happens. They have the Cardinals next week, man. They have the Cardinals next week. It's a massive game for them.
It is, but they played also very poor last time against the Cardinals. This could be a tune-up game.
It could be if everybody was healthy, but they're not. Darrell Henderson's banged up.
But nobody's
banged up.
They're 100% healthy this time of year. No player's 100% healthy. You play through it. This is how you build differently. This is how you get forged in iron right here.
Listen, I'm telling you. You want to go 0-4 against me? You really want to do that?
We're going to know around 7 o'clock our time, Sunday evening.
Yeah, we're going to have to go live for that. We have to go live on Twitter, a little space.
Little spaces. Everyone can listen to us yell at each other.
I fucking told you.
Oh, if I won that and we're on spaces, you'll never hear the end of it.
Of course. All right, since we both got out of the way, go ahead, hit me with your next pick.
Next play for this one, I'm going to take the Cincinnati Bengals laying 3 points to the Los Angeles Football Superchargers. This game, I'm taking this solely off of one factor and one factor only. The Chargers are the worst run defense in the entire NFL. They are giving up an average of 145.3 yards per game. On the other side of the ball, other side of the line, happens to be one of the best running backs in the NFL this year, Joe Mixon, who's coming off a 165-yard, 2-touchdown performance last week. The Chargers cannot stop the run, and they are falling apart left and right with injuries on that defensive side of the ball. All this tells me here is this is going to sack up great for the Bengals to win this game big, because they're going to have to put 8 men in the box consistently to try to stop the run, because they've been getting gashed all year, which is then going to leave the likes of Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, C.J. Uzama, all open in the secondary. With a secondary, it's going to have Derwin James a little bit banged up, and Asante Samuel Jr. has already been ruled out of this game. Not a fast defense, not strong at all back there. Jamar Chase is going to have a big game. I'm telling you that right now. I will put it in the book. I'm not the fantasy guy. You can tell me if you think I'm right or not. I think Jamar Chase is going to have a monster game here.
I think he could. I think he could for sure.
Seems like
he's just like the deep threat guy, though, at this point with T. Higgins back. So
you need it, though. I do also, because like I said, that is my main point for this game. The Bengals laying the 3. Chargers are 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 against the AFC. They're also 1-5 in their last 6 following a straight-up loss of more 14 points or so. These two teams, they can score. I think the Chargers will be able to score. I do like the over in this game as well. I don't know what the number is off the top of my head, which is upsetting since I'm the over king. But Chargers are putting up 24.8 points per game. The Bengals have been putting up 28.1. Chargers defense is 28th in the league, giving up 26.6 points per game. I think this could very easily be like a 31-24 kind of game. Like I think the Bengals are going to put up points. I think the Bengals, everyone's kind of fell off the Bengal wagon a little bit the past couple of weeks, but I think they're going to kind of show they are actually a for real team, and this is going to be a good start. The Chargers are not a bad team. Not doing great right now, but they're not a bad team by any means. So Bengals -3.
The over-under is 50.5.
Yeah, I love the over.
I
would play that. I'd play that to 52.5 probably.
I don't hate either one of those picks. Like if you take the over or if you take the Bengals, I don't hate either one. I have to read the notes off my phone because my internet doesn't even want to move. So my next pick, we're going ugly again. We're going back to back. Houston Texans +9 against the Colts. Listen, I told you it's going to be ugly. I told you you were going to hate me. but I'm going to try to win you money this week. Every single pick, I think, is fading the public. Um, like I said, this is the same game that we had a couple weeks ago. Colts played the Jaguars, didn't cover, should have easily covered. Colts won by 9. This is the 9-point spread. I love it. Texans are a much better team than the Colts, than the Jaguars are. Excuse me.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
wow.
no, I just
That is
look
a
back down.
huge statement.
It's so much harder to read your notes over a tiny little screen than the big one.
Love
It's gonna load up in a second. Texans, they've been surprisingly competitive. They've been trying hard.
Tyrod Taylor effect, man.
I love Tyrod Taylor. All right, we're back on the big screen. Here we go. The coach down there, I don't even know who he is off the top of my head. We're trying to build a
David
culture.
Culley.
Who?
Come on, David Culley.
That's right. Trying to build some kind of sort of culture. I'm not sure what kind of culture it is, but they're playing hard week in, week out, doing the best they can to just be competitive, do their thing. Like you said, Tyrod's a more than capable quarterback. Defense plays very hard. And then I love a good underdog story. Listen, this is like the ultimate.
I like
What?
that pick a lot. I like this pick a lot.
Yeah, this is the ultimate letdown spot. It might be the letdown spot of the century. The Colts are not going to get up for this game after playing the Bucks last week. Then they have a bye next week, and after that they have the Patriots. Patriots are hot. Big game against the Bills this week.
Murderers row.
Yeah, man, this is literally the worst spot I've seen all year for a football team. I can never lay 2 scores with Carson Wentz. I don't care what team he's on. I'll tell you that. Sorry, buddy. Quick side note: I'd take the over in rushing yards for Jonathan Taylor as long as it's under 120. I'd take it. Houston gives up a ton of rushing yards, but we saw what happened with the Colts last time they played a bad team in the Jags. He had 100 rushing yards at half and finished with 119. They didn't run the ball at all with him. They saved him. Don't need to use him. Couple trends, couple stats for you. Texans 4-1 in the last 5 as a home dog. Texans 4-1 in the last 5 versus the AFC South. Colts 1-5 in the last 6 against the AFC South, all against the spread. Love the Texans. I've locked that one in already. I think it's a great play, and I'm very happy.
I do like that play a lot. My favorite prop bet the entire season is actually in this game, and it's Jonathan Taylor over receiving yards. Absolutely love it. Carson Wentz and Frank Reich are notorious for dumping off to running backs and running back screens. Jonathan Taylor has hit that prop. I don't know the exact number, but I know because I bet it every week. It is over 75% on the season. He hits it consistently. I do like that play a lot. And I think one of the big things, especially here, they touched on the culture shift and everything. I think once the Texans really started to play better, once the bye week passed, and they were sitting there and they saw Deshaun is going to be here. He's not going to, he's not in the office here in the room or anything. We don't have to listen to him. He's not getting traded during the season. He's going to be here. It's that distraction is out the door and just out of there. Texans have played better ever since that point. I had a week or 2 ago when I said Texans over the Titans. We were saying pre-show. That was the easiest pick I've ever had. Ultimately, you were just saying, ultimate letdown game. The Titans had just come off big wins over the Chiefs, over the Bills. Ultimate letdown spot against the Texans. And I think, if I remember correctly, I don't know if it was 2 weeks ago or this week, they had another big game lined up the very next week also. Ultimate spot. Texans are a scrappy bunch. They fight. They play hard. They're not great. They shouldn't win the game, but I wouldn't be afraid to sprinkle a little bit on them.
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. I'm gonna have a big. I'm not afraid of it. I'm gonna have a big parlay, just for shits and gigs, because it's college basketball season. So I have my college basketball unit size is a little bit smaller than my NFL size, so I'll just toss a college basketball unit on there and just be like, okay, it's like I'm playing a college basketball game.
Let's see what happens. We'll let it ride.
All right. What do you got for me?
Next on the docket, I'm going to play the Baltimore Ravens laying 4.5 against your Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm also going to play under 44 points in this game. Couple of reasons for this, mainly. These two teams, we'll talk the under to start with. These two teams' offenses struggled tremendously. You look over at the Pittsburgh side of the ball right now, especially. You don't have to about it. Ben Roethlisberger cannot move without a cortisone shot every half hour. The guy's cooked. Salute him for his service. Don't salute him outside in the community and everything. You know, we had a fantasy football team name a couple of years back that was Big Ben's Bathroom Bodyguards. It was a great team name. But they're beat up. Najee Harris, that running game, they haven't been able to do a ton right now. They've only been putting up 3.4 yards per carry in the last month. Down in the bottom half of the league, averaging 20.4 points per game on the season. We've seen, like I said already, Ben can't throw the ball more than about 20 yards. You can't push at a ball in the slightest bit. It just hasn't gone well. The offensive line is absolute garbage. Defensive side of the ball for Pittsburgh, there's a very good chance that TJ Watt does not play. He is in COVID protocol. He's out. Is it official? So that's a massive loss right there. That is going to take away so much because he opens up the game so much for Minka Fitzpatrick, for Cameron Hayward, all these other edge rushers and guys in the secondary because he gets pressure consistently. That's taken that. Now you have to rely on, what's his name? Ali Highsmith, I believe his name is. Or
He's
Alex
so
Highsmith.
good. I
He's
love
talented,
Alex Highsmith.
but he's not ready
He's
to
not
be
an
a
edge
back.
rusher. He's not TJ
He's
Watt.
a nice player, but there's no one in that category of Watt. Ravens offense, not doing great either. Lamar's coming off a nice 4-interception game. My favorite running back out there, he just does some phenomenal things throwing that ball around. But I don't think Baltimore is going to have much trouble slowing down Pittsburgh's offense. They have really gotten it together in the past latter half of the season on the defensive side, especially stopping the run, where Pittsburgh really is struggling with right now. It's the only thing where their playmakers seem to be at. I think that one of the biggest weaknesses that the Steelers have right now is going against running backs. They played Joe Mixon last week. They gave 165 yards to Joe Mixon last week. If Lamar's having trouble throwing the ball, what's he going to do that he does damn well? He runs the ball. I think Lamar's going to have a big rushing game in this one. He's going to throw a couple passes in there. But the best way for the Ravens to get back on cue, they're the most overrated 8-3 team out there by far. They're absolute frauds. Best way for them to keep cooking, though, and get it moving. Lamar doesn't throw the ball more than 20 times a game. And they pound the rock. They do a 60-40 split between run pass, and they'll have a good shot out there. I also love this game for the under because it's divisional battle. Divisional battles, these are teams that hate each other. They're going to beat the shit out of each other. Everyone knows Baltimore and Pittsburgh have a very storied rivalry against one another. They want to kill each other out there. That just tells me this is going to be a control offense. You're not going to be able to get into a rhythm because there's going to be penalties in this game for getting chippy, for plays, pushing off after the whistle, extra holds going on and everything. People are going to get hurt. It's going to be that kind of game. Ravens, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, if you're going to bet the under, I'd wait. The line's moving north. It's going up.
Is it? Well, I had
it
originally
143. I have 144.5 on my book already, and it's Wednesday.
Not bad. Yeah,
if you get to 145, anything 144 is the key number.
Yeah.
So that's what you want. You want something north of 145, and that's easy under.
Yes. Listen to Billy. He's smart. Some trends. Ravens are 9-2 in their last 11 against the spread versus the AFC North. Steelers in that same span versus with their 7 games are 2-5 against the AFC North against the spread. Really struggling. The under is 7-3 in the Steelers' last 10 as a home underdog. It's also 9-3 in the Ravens' last dozen following a straight up win. Give me the under in this game for the divisional team. Give me the Ravens -4.5.
Yeah, I you said, I like the under. The reason why it's not on my card is because it's just not the right number for me. I really like it though. I think it does hit even with the 44, 43. Both these defenses aren't great. Not gonna be a lot of turnovers, unless listen. Lamar came out drunk on Sunday. I don't know what happened.
And it was one of the worst quarterback performances I've ever seen.
Me watching. I watched that game so intently because of fantasy football reasons. I had Antonio Gibson going Monday night, and I had Justin Tucker. And our good friend of the show, Greg, you guys know Greg, he had the Ravens defense. And before the game, we were projected to tie. This is with decimals. to the third decimal. We were supposed to
Always,
tie.
that's always the best part.
That's how sweaty this was. I wound up winning thanks to Antonio Gibson. Solid matchup. But every time, like in the fourth quarter, I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. Great time for Justin Tucker field goal. Love it. Nice 50-yarder. Love it. Put me up. Nope. Picked off. Nope. Fumble. Nope. Picked off.
Our boy Lamar was doing his best Uncle Rico impression, like,
yeah, dude. It was brutal to watch, man. All right, back to the ugly. You guys got the.
I have, and everyone knows that I hate the Ravens, and this could be my piling on the Ravens. How can you root for that guy as your quarterback? Like, that's got to be infuriating. Like, he can do so many great things, but for all the shit that like I had to do with Carson Wentz and everything, like, I would never want that dude. I don't think as my quarterback. It would drive me insane.
I mean, you have that guy as your quarterback right now, Jalen Hurts. So
this guy's not as fast, and he doesn't have as good of an arm. He just stinks.
Yeah, he was. I mean, Jalen, we'll talk about that off air. We're not going to get into the Eagles. Talk about it when the show's over. I got something to say to you.
Fucking Jalen.
I have one more thing to say about that game. Both these teams can't stop the run. So there's going to be a lot of running. I do like the under. That's what I've been trying to say this whole time. The next, you had the beautiful picks with Mr. Mo Watts. I'm going back to the ugly. Washington football team, not plus 2.5. Money line. Straight money line against the Raiders. Raiders stink. They're a bad football team, bad organization.
I love this pick. Absolutely love it. I will 1,000,000,000% be on
You have to love it. Listen, you have Logan Thomas back. It helps open up Scary Terry. Doesn't have to do everything on his own in the offense anymore. Yes, J.D. McKissick will most likely be out with a head injury. He got carted off the field, and then like 2 days later, they're like, "How you feel?" He's like, "I'm great. I feel fine." I'm like, "No, you don't." As Antonio Gibson owner, I'm like, "No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't." If he doesn't play, I think you're going to get more than healthy dose of Antonio Gibson. I love whatever his prop total for over and receptions will be. When it comes to stopping the run, Raiders at the bottom of the list. One of the worst teams. They just give up points, give up touchdowns, give up yards. They're just bad at defending on against the run. Gibson gets a chance. He's going to show the world who he is. He's going to show the world he needs 30 touches a game instead of 15 when McKissick's in there. We don't want McKissick. Nobody wants McKissick. Also, Raiders get torched by tight ends. One of the worst teams in guarding the tight end. Logan Thomas has been patiently waiting week in, week out to come back. He had a touchdown last week. I talked about this on FFD. I'm going to say it again because I don't care. I know we have people who listen to both shows. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to say it again. Logan Thomas was robbed of a TD because of the city of Las Vegas. Didn't want them to cover. But guess what? Not my problem. Logan Thomas is going to catch a touchdown this weekend. You can lock that in anytime touchdown. You can probably lock in first touchdown if McKissick plays first touchdowns off the board. Don't want it. Logan Thomas will catch a touchdown this week to shove in the face of the city of Las Vegas. Tell them to go fuck themselves. Take the team that's got no name against a flagship team. A couple quick stats. The football team. It's always weird just reading football team when I put these stats down. It's so weird to do because I'm like, what team am I talking about?
Who am I talking about now? Am I talking about the Raiders?
The Washington football team 7-2 in their last 9 following against the spread, following up a straight up win. Raiders 1-5 against the spread in the last 6 as a home favorite. Something about Vegas, man. They don't play well there. I don't know what it is. Yeah, that's my pick.
I love that pick. Absolutely love it. You got two opposite sides. You have a team that has everything to play for versus a team that has nothing. Raiders aren't going anywhere. They're checked out. They've gone through the gamut of issues this entire year. NFC East is there for the taking still. The Redskins, oh boy, the football team.
How dare you
come back? Yeah, we got a dump. I need some editor. Joe Green, come please me out a little bit, please. We're at the hour 27 mark. Please cut me out. The football team has everything to play for right now. They can win this division still. This division's not over. by any means. Dallas has not done anything to really run away with this thing. They had their chances to run away hiding. They've choked them away. Washington is starting to put it together. That win against Tampa Bay a couple weeks ago was a huge springboard to save their season. They have Tyler Heineke. The magic is starting to show up again. This kid just goes out and balls. He's playing like he's got no tomorrow. I know another quarterback who played like he had no tomorrow. Goes by the name of Shane Falco. He did some pretty great things out there too. Reminds me a little bit of Taylor Heineke. I love what we're seeing out of them. It's losing Chase Young obviously was massive for them. That's not great, but they still have a ton of good pass rushers: Montez Sweat, Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne. They have guys who can get there. I do think Washington is absolutely going to win this game. Yep. I think it could be smart money to put a bet on Washington to win the NFC East right now too.
Yep. I was thinking about saying that tonight, and I was like, it's a little bit of a stretch. I will say 4 out of my 5 plays are fade the public plays. Why? Raiders getting most of the money, like over 85% of the money. Line hasn't moved from 2.5. Houston. Colts getting most of the money. Line hasn't moved off the 9. Jaguars. Nobody's taking the Jaguars. Nobody in their right mind is like any Joe Schmo's going to take the Rams. Sorry, hate to tell you. And the last one I'll save because I had the actual number down because I bet this one already because it just makes no sense. What do you got for me next?
I actually just have 2 leans at this point. Like I said, well, I'll repeat what I had earlier. So Rams 12.5, Bengals -3, Ravens 4.5, and Steelers Ravens under 44. I have 2 plays that I'm doing more research on. One of them I now know I'm going to play, but especially after I saw we have the same play on it. I don't have anything to back it up currently. It's just more of a gut feel, and I feel very good about it, which I'll let you really get into that more in a second. But my other lean that I'm looking at right now is the Cardinals laying 7.5 against the Bears. This game is all going to come down to Kyler Murray. If Kyler Murray plays, I'm on it. If he doesn't play, if anything comes out coming closer to game time that he's having issues, I'm out. I'm not getting involved in that play. If that is the case and he's still dinged up, I'm taking the under in that game for the Cardinals Bears, but I don't have an accurate number of what that is at the moment.
I'll pull it up. While we're talking about the game, we can talk about it real quick. It's gonna be cold. It's gonna be real cold. It opened 46.5 most books and it's down to 45.5. When you have a sprain and whatnot, and you're out multiple weeks, yeah, he's gonna be fully healthy, but like it's gonna
be lingering. It's like a hamstring. You pull a hamstring, you can be fully healthy, but it's still there. It doesn't just go away.
It's still there. The cold does no favors to your body, to your muscles. It doesn't feel good when you get hit in the cold. This is gonna be his first game back. Was it 3 games in a bye? Is that what it is, or 2 games in a bye?
I think it's. He's my fantasy quarterback. I think it's 3 in a bye.
3 in a bye. That's a lot of time to miss, especially with this high-powered offense, this fast-paced offense. I lean the Bears, especially now it's a +8. I really like the Bears. I'm not going to take it, but it's definitely a lean of mine. It's just you're not going to catch me. You're not going to ever catch me betting on Matt Nagy. I'll tell you that right now.
Might have talked me into it a little bit. Fuck. I got to think about this one now.
I don't hate the under. I don't hate it.
No, I think the under. I think the under is definitely the play. I almost think the under is the play, regardless if Kyler plays or not, or even whatever. It's just
I think it's more. I think it's more
factor is huge. I don't Kyler. I'll do some digging into what Kyler's career stats are in like certain turf fields or outdoors in December. What it looks like. I'd be intrigued to actually find that out and see where he comes in at. Because I would assume it's not that great. So
I think that if Kyler plays, I like the under more than if he doesn't. Because Colt's been playing, he's ready to go.
I agree with you. I like your logic there. Yeah. I think that makes sense.
The game's gonna be a little fast the first couple drives for him.
And Colt McCoy's played in those elements. He's played in Cincinnati. He's played in Cleveland. Like he's been up there in that cold. So I like your logic there. I'm definitely you talked me into the under for sure.
I'm on.
I was already kind of on the under, but the actual spread itself, I might be hedging that one, and I don't know where I'm going to go now.
It just looks bad. It doesn't
I
look.
might just go back to the well and what I do well, and that's the totals.
I'm telling you, you were doing well. You
I only
keep.
got one total tonight. You
Yeah.
know,
Um.
trying to turn a new leaf.
So
But the
I'll say.
last pick, I'll let Billy talk about it a little bit
Yeah.
more because
I'll
we're
save
both.
that for last. I'm gonna go
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
with the other spread I have because who doesn't love betting on big numbers?
Mhm.
This one I'm going to be on the favorite. I'm taking Chiefs -10 versus the Broncos. If you know anything about football, you never fade Andy Reid coming off a bye. Any team he coaches, doesn't matter. Could be a high school team. Give me the line for it. I'll take it. Um, the Broncos are currently getting 74% of public money. The line hasn't moved at all. It hasn't even budged. Not even like half point down to half point back up. That's a clear sign that big money's on the Chiefs. Um, Listen, whenever the Chiefs are public favorites, like people like the public's betting them, don't touch them. When they fade them, thinking, oh, Chiefs haven't covered them forever, take them to the bank. It's good money. Travis Kelsey always eats against the Broncos. It's one of his favorite matchups year in and year out. Tyreek Hill, always a threat. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, fully healthy, game under his belt. Then he had a bye week. Then he get the run game going, get the passing going, get the play action. Team's looking healthy, ready to go into. Hopefully, they'll somehow make a playoffs. Couple stats: Broncos 2-9 against the spread in the last 11 meetings against the Chiefs. Not great, Bob. And Andy Reid, all time 19-3 straight up coming off a bye.
He's a
Um,
beast.
it was like I was trying to find like regular season numbers for the against the spread, and it was like a little murky because there was more. I think they were adding in playoffs, like after first round playoff buys and whatnot. And like that doesn't count. Like it's not the same. But if you add in the playoff buy, it was I believe 18 and 18-7 or 19-7, something like that. Something like that. Still covers crazy off a bye. He loves the bye week. Loves to get a whole game plan going. Give me the Chiefs -10. For the over for the game, the official overs club game, Pats Bills over 43. Line is moving the wrong way. Makes no sense. Usually, when the line moves one way, it's the right way. It's the right way in the NFL. Usually, I don't like this is gonna be like I'm waiting for this game till Sunday to know what the weather in Buffalo is gonna be. You know what I mean? But if it's clear skies, 30, 35, 40 degrees, because both these teams play in the Northeast, freezing ice cold temperatures, doesn't matter to them. But if it's windy, because it gets windy up in Buffalo, it's right by Niagara Falls, as long as it's not windy, I'm taking the over. Buffalo coming off a little bit of a long weekend, aka a little mini bye after their Thanksgiving beat down of the Saints. Um, Pats the Pats did like Hansel from Zoolander. So hot right now. So hot. Um, this is one of the biggest games of the year for the NFL. Bill Belichick, man on a mission, little
Ooh,
revenge tour.
interrupt you real quick. Utah Valley upset BYU.
Yeah, I just saw. I just popped up on the screen.
Yeah,
A lot of upsets.
wild,
A lot of upsets.
wild.
I was before we go any farther. I was going to take UC Riverside tonight, and they were leading against Oregon. I'm back, baby. I'm back.
Unbelievable.
Where was I? Bill Belichick, man on a mission. He's trying to show a little revenge tour. He like rolled out Cam Newton last year, like, hey, look, I guess I don't know what I'm doing. Hey, look, Tom Brady, I guess you can win on your own. And guess who's back? Tom Brady Jr., Mac Jones. Uh, from the last 8 games of the season, Mac Jones is the number 1 QBR in the NFL. If I was a
Wild.
gambling man,
Absolutely wild.
I may or may not be. I'd be sprinkling some Pats to win the Super Bowl if I were you. They are hot
Yep.
right now. They come alive when it gets cold. That's Northeast football. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Play good defense. Pats defense all the way back. The Bills have been getting up plenty of rushing yards the past few weeks. Pats offense is going to be humming. Tre'Davious White missing the rest of the season with a torn ACL is brutal for the Bills. The Bills are going to have to be throwing the ball. I expect me being a big Josh Allen guy, yes, lots of yards, couple touchdowns, but also expect him to throw a pick, short field position. Over 43 isn't out of question at all. Over is 4-0. The Patriots' last four against a team with a winning record, and over is 6-2 in the Patriots' last 8 games overall. The Bills hit the over all the time, but when I looked at trends just like straight up, it was like kind of wonky. It was like 27-11, and like nobody wants that. We want recent. We want what happens recently. It hasn't been crazy. It's been 2-2, 1-3, and all that nonsense. But the Bills hit the over all the time. I love this over. Yep, that's the over.
Yeah, that's not a pick that I'm on as well as a lean for me, but it's much more of a solid play than a lean. I'm all over it. I just I didn't have anything to back it up. Thankfully, our boy here did a great job explaining it. It seems this is a battle for the AFC right here. These two teams. I think the winner of this game, I think, is the team that's representing the AFC in the Super Bowl. So I think you're gonna see a slugfest a little bit in the beginning, and I think you're gonna see some points get put up real fast, and they're gonna be going to show who the AFC is gonna run through.
I think that it might be going, like the total might be going lower because it's a primetime game. I'm not really worried about it, if I'm being honest with you. Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, we'll see what the weather's like. I'm not going to be locking it in until that's Monday. Actually, that game. That's
The
Monday.
Monday night game. Yeah, we got a lot of time.
A lot of time. I have two leans. Tomorrow's game, Saints +4. I just think it's a bad spot for the Cowboys. It's a lot of talk. Whenever Jerry Jones gets talking, saying, "Oh, we're going to give the ball to Zeke. We have to feature him, make him the feature back." Listen, Jerry, you're not a coach. You never could have been a coach. You never will be a coach. Mike McCarthy, COVID protocol. Don't know if he's going to be on the field. If Kellen Moore has his chance to shine for like a potential team, I don't know that the Saints and the Saints defense is the best chance he's got to be a NFL head coach. Saints defense #1 against the rush, top 15 against the pass. Kamara's coming back. Yes, Taysom Hill's going to be the starter, which worries me a little bit. But at more than a field goal, you're getting past the number. I love it as a teaser. As a teaser play, I haven't found a second teaser for it yet, but I love that number. Anytime you get 4 for a teaser, it's beautiful. I'll be on the same some way, shape, or form come tomorrow. I'll let you guys know on Twitter. And then Cleveland State -3.5 college basketball. It's just a team I like to bet on. They usually cover a lot of games. They've started slow. They have an easy matchup with a low number. Give me Cleveland State tomorrow. That'll be an official play tomorrow. I don't have any information for you.
Lock it in.
A bang! A bang! You have anything else for us, Mr. Mo Watts?
That's all I've got right now. I will have some more going in for tomorrow. I already got some eyes on some things, but nothing I'm willing to discuss at this point because I got to do some digging while I'm at work tomorrow morning. I got to see what else is going on for this weekend games. Obviously, Georgia-Alabama game. I'm sure we'll talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that one. We got some good old La Liga action I'd love to speak about tomorrow night as well. My boys, Real Blancos, now 7 points clear on the table. Love it.
Los Blancos.
Messi stole a Ballon d'Or from Lewandowski, which was ridiculous. But whatever, neither here nor there.
Yeah, that was.
No, I have nothing else going on. So we'll wrap this sucker up. We'll come back out here
Before
tomorrow.
you go any further, I just wanted to say, shout out to Messi saying that Lewandowski should get his own anyway. It's a grown man move.
Class move right there. I mean, the guy hasn't earned this one this year, even if he's good, objectively good.
Average.
But average at best, I agree. Aggressively mediocre is how I'm like. But Billy, my boy, where can I find you? What's happening?
You can find me, Billy FFD, on Twitter. Find me at Ben Diagonal on Twitter. You can find me at FFD_podcast on Twitter. My favorite time of year, guys. College basketball ramping up. Hockey, getting into it. NFL week 13. We have playoffs soon. Playoffs.
The NFL's almost over, basically. I
Yeah.
was typing up my notes for it, and I was like, "Holy fuck! It's week 13. How the hell did that happen?"
I have 4 more episodes of FFD, and that's it. What am I going to do with myself? Every Tuesday. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself.
Big Card Tuesdays are coming back.
Dude, I tried to do a big card yesterday, and look what happened. I went 4-4. Love it.
I know, unbelievable.
Yes, you can find me PhillyFFD. Follow my personal account. I'd like to tweet more on there. Makes me happy when people know who I am instead of just liking it.
Search me by my handles.
Yeah, search me, baby. Search me. Find out what I'm all about. I'm about this. You'll hear me talking sweaty sweats about games and whatnot. Love the interaction lately, guys. Really appreciate it. It means the world to us. We haven't been as great at getting as much content out as we want to, but during the holidays, it's kind of tough. We got a lot of stuff going
I'm
on.
slow right now. I will be picking it back up. I'm starting to get the life back in order a little bit over here. I'll be back into. I was telling Billy and I were texting. There's a kid who was chatting him up about Chet Holmgren, and I was loving the NBA draft talk, and I was just chomping at the bit, but I just couldn't get into it because I had other shit going on. And
I text him Morgan. I'm like, you believe this kid? You believe? Shout out to that kid. I don't know his name off the top of my head. I'll pull his name up. I'll give him a shout out. Knows his basketball. I will say that he knows his basketball, but he's a little hot headed. Carter Maskey. Shout out to you, buddy.
Needs to watch a little bit more Chet. Maybe learn a little bit more about our boy, our young prince.
Yeah, I mean, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, it looks like he's got a high school basketball picture as his avatar. No, he's been watching basketball as long as we have, so it is what it is. Shout out to you. Love it either way. Win, lose, or draw.
Our job to educate. Our job to educate the youths of this world.
I told him, I said, Chet Holmgren's gonna be a perennial All-Star in the NBA in a couple years. Give it time. I'll see it at the All-Star game, buddy. More watch. Where can I find you at?
You can find me at MoWatch26. We're similar to Philly. I do a lot of different stuff on there. If you really want to get into the music stuff, everyone, your Spotify Wraps came out. If you want to get in there, I am going to town on that because it came out today. And if you watch this, you know I'm a big-time Swiftie. I'm the biggest Taylor Swift fan out there. I am in the 0.5% of the top listeners in the world. Get on my fucking level. But you'll see me talk about that. You'll see me chirp about some other sports things, especially my Philly teams, which are all going down the gutter right now. I actually don't even know why I put up the Philly logo behind me tonight. That was a terrible choice. All of my teams stink. But you can also find me at Betting Diagonal. I will be posting more picks coming up as I got a good read of things, I think, now for NBA, and I have a little bit more free time coming up, which will be nice. I can kind of get back into a rhythm, which will be good. But you take a look at all that stuff. You can take back. I have the 6-pack. I know I've slacked the past couple of weeks on the writing the 6-pack. 6-pack's back. It might have to be. I might have to do a 12-pack for this one. Actually, I might really have to go. I don't know if I have that much in me, to be honest. I got a 36 rack in the fridge. I'll take 6 out of them and I'll finish the rest.
Yeah, you don't. Bing bong.
You can find us there. Bing bong.
You can't say that. You're from Philly. You can't say that.
Anything else before I shut us out? You want to say?
Yes. Like, follow, subscribe. YouTube, Facebook. Maybe on Facebook. I'm thinking FFD. Yeah. Like, follow, subscribe. YouTube.
When did this happen?
Twitter. It's just it's memorized. Sorry. Shout out to everybody. Keep winning money. That's what I'm saying. Keep winning money.
Win responsibly.
Bing bong. We'll see you guys tomorrow.